Hello, I'm Secretary of State Kris Warner, and I serve as the Chief Business Officer for the state of West Virginia. Part of my responsibility is to make sure that West Virginia is positioned to help create a strong pro-business environment to help grow our state's economy. To do that, my office is working to promote the services and programs available throughout the state to help support entrepreneurs and small business owners. This is part of a video series we call Just 3 Questions with West Virginia business leaders and entrepreneurs. Joining me today for Just 3 Questions is Judy Moore. Judy joined the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority in 2017 as a regional business advisor for the West Virginia Hive. Just 6 months later, Judy became the executive director of the West Virginia Hive, and 2 years later, the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority co-founded the Country Roads Angel Network under Judy's leadership. And just 3 years ago, Judy was promoted as Deputy Director of Operations for the New River Gorge Development Authority while still serving as the Executive Director of the West Virginia Hive. Judy, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Secretary. I appreciate it.
Hey, the West Virginia Hive is an entrepreneurship program for the NRG RDA. My question would be, why would an economic development authority see the need to create a program like the West Virginia Hive focused on entrepreneurship and small business support?
The NRG RDA, as you know, is the largest economic development authority in the state. And thankfully, our board of directors are very forward-thinking and also very regionally supportive. Because of the downturn in the coal industry, they wanted to bring together economic development authorities in a collective group to be able to create a entrepreneurship culture in Southern West Virginia. And therefore, they started the West Virginia Hive. The West Virginia Hive actually was birthed out of an Appalachian Regional Commission grant in 2016 with Benedum Foundation's support, and we've been in existence since.
Oh, great. So, since your founding, how many entrepreneurs and small businesses have the West Virginia Hive supported? And can you share a few success stories that reflect the kind of impact you're making in Southern West Virginia?
Yes, love to. So since our inception, we have supported nearly 700 entrepreneurs and small businesses, and an additional 1,200 plus aspiring entrepreneurs. Also, that includes community members and supporters. But we have a lot of success stories and can share a lot of them, but a couple that I chose was, one is Jarhead Farm. That is a business from Monroe County that is veteran owned, and they operate as a social enterprise because they serve food deserts. And one of my favorite things with them is that they took part in a pitch competition that we conduct every year. It's Pitch Southern West Virginia. And during that pitch competition, they made their ask of $2,500, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? But they were like, if we could just have $2,500, we would be able to buy another generator-powered cooler. And that would allow them to pick more berries from their farm and take them out into these food deserts. And so by the end of the competition, they had won $2,250. And so they were able to buy this additional cooler. Through different things that we've supported them with by, fine-tuning their business plan and connecting them to opportunities for funding and things of that sort. They are now working on their own FDA-approved facility, which it just really is dear to our heart, you might say, that we have the opportunity to walk alongside of these entrepreneurs to make that kind of impact. We also have a business, a tourism-based business that's Wild Blue Adventure Company. They're located in Fayette County, and they own an old plane, and they give tours over the New River Gorge Bridge. And so the owner, one of the owners, actually had an accident and could not actually fly the plane for a period of time. And so instead of crying in their milk, they actually reached out to the West Virginia Hive and allowed us to get them into a training program, work with them to dress up their business plan, connect them to other opportunities, and now they're just tremendously flourishing. They are now offering a training, which is the only one in the state, and they have recently opened a lodge that is tourism themed with the plane.
That with the new designation, I can expect that business will be very busy.
It's a big hit, needless to say, very big.
And just recognizing how important it is that these businesses are so close and they need just a little bit of guidance, and I'm glad you're there for that. So based on your experience working closely with small businesses, what additional resources do you believe are most needed to help entrepreneurs in our state succeed, especially in rural and coal-impacted communities?
So unfortunately, because of the devastation that we faced in southern West Virginia, because of the downturn of the coal industry, we're still playing catch up, especially with bringing various resources, infrastructure, access to capital, a lot of different things. But access to capital is among those of most need. And therefore, as you mentioned earlier, that's one of the reasons that we co-founded the Country Roads Angel Network that is still supporting growth-based entrepreneurs today. We're also currently in process of launching a new loan fund that is supported by the Truist Foundation that is going to allow us to support early stage businesses and the small scale businesses. And we're so excited about that. We should have that launched in the next couple of months.
Well, had a little bit of experience with access to capital events. I'd love to partner with you in the future.
Absolutely.
As it relates to one specifically for Southern West Virginia. But Judy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you
very much for joining us for Just Three Questions, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.